Okay, I'm back. I don't know if you guys can hear me or not. I adjusted it. I might end up having to switch to a different mic. Up or down, up or down. I don't know. Probably not. I'm going to assume no. Oh, somebody hears me. Wonderful. I'm not really sure what the hell was going on. I guess my mic just needed to be reset. It was on a little bit of a weird setting, but it should have worked. But anyways, so I guess I'll just kind of restart back to what I was saying. First off, if anybody hears like an update on like when the game's gonna start, like put it in the chat if you don't mind. That'd be pretty cool. No, 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 DOS. It was not just you, apparently. This did not age well. Okay, cool. What? Yeah, it did. This did not age well. That doesn't make any sense. Someone told me it didn't age well when I said that. Okay, Bowman said 10. Okay. Well, we'll see if that lasts. I don't know. There were some concerning things that made me think that they were going to end up canceling the game or postponing till tomorrow, and then we'd have a double header tomorrow, which would have been really rough. Anyways, going back to what I was saying, one of the reasons I'm really frustrated right now about this game is that Adrian Hauser, he absolutely sucks against left-handed pitching, or I mean left-handed hitting, and I was like super excited to see what this offense was going to do to him a second time through, and now it's very clear we are not going to see him throw another pitch tonight. So, I mean, luckily that still works to our advantage because the Braves obviously have the best bullpen in baseball, and the Giants have like the 21st or something like that best bullpen. I don't even know if you want to call it best at that point. So they're pretty bad. So hopefully that helps out. Holmes, I feel kind of bad for Holmes tonight. He's not been good lately. He's only gone 5 innings in one of his last 3 starts, and he's just not been what we really need him to be. So obviously, whenever someone is ready to take a spot, he's going to end up moving to the bullpen, or with whether that's we trade or whether that's we go get uh, Hurston Waldrop and bring him up. I don't. Waldrop walked a lot of guys tonight, so that's like concerning. I really hope that the issues that he had prior to last year aren't coming back. That would be that'd be kind of a slap in the face. Now, I mean, as I said last year, I'm really ecstatic about his future now, whether that be as a starting pitcher or as a reliever. Yeah, I'm with you, Cody. The consistency is a big concern with Waldrop, but the walks, yeah, Doss, the walks are concerning. The thing that I am excited about is the fact that it feels like his absolute floor at this point is like an elite reliever, like maybe even like an elite closer. So I feel okay about that, but right now we really need a starting pitcher to step up. I'm cautiously optimistic about Richie after his last outing against the Mets. Yeah, I don't know. There were some concerns about his zone rate still being pretty low and stuff like that, but he was getting a decent amount of chase. Sure, Mets chase a lot. But yeah, I don't know. This to me, this stuff looked better. The command was mostly better. It was at least close to the zone. Like that start in Seattle, Richie just didn't look like, honestly, I hate to say it, he didn't look like he belonged in the big leagues. and maybe there was some nerves there given that that was like his hometown start and blah blah blah, all that fun stuff, but he just did not look good, and it really didn't get much better after that start. So, I mean, that's something to look forward to tomorrow. Hopefully, he'll look a lot better. He did still walk two guys in those 5 innings against the Mets last week, but one of those was an intentional walk to Juan Soto to like load the bases, and then the other one was a walk late in the outing. So I'm pretty excited to watch Richie tomorrow. I think it's going to be better than his first few times through. One of the young starters to step up. Yeah, no, I agree. We can't have Holmes just going four every start. I mean, I'd be fine with if he could give us five. I would be ecstatic if he could do that every fifth day, but he's not doing it. Yeah, Dawson, I'm with you. Owen Murphy, that fastball looks real, man. The induced vertical break on it is like otherworldly. So like if you don't know exactly what induced vertical break is, it's just listen to the last two words, vertical break. It's how much your pitch is riding in the zone and the movement and the shape of the fastball. His induced vertical break is like 22, and that's like super elite because like Spencer Strider, when he was like Spencer Strider, his induced vertical break was like averaging like 18 and a half. Of course, he was throwing it a lot harder, so it was playing at an elite level. Owen Murphy's fastball is like 93, 94. Now, he's still pretty young, so that could definitely bump up a tick or two. And with that induced vertical break, it could really become like an elite fastball. But I don't know if right now is the time that Owen Murphy's going to be able to step up like that. He's still pretty young. Alex Anthopoulos seemed pretty bullish on him though. Yeah, if he could if he could sit 96, like if he could get up to a point where like he was topping out at like 97, 98 with that induced vertical break, it would be almost unhittable. It would be very comparable to what Strider was doing a few years ago. Um, and that would be fun, but it's also scary because you're like, I don't know, you're right back to that same question of like, how long can it be sustained before you see another arm injury? And, Owen's already had one arm injury, and Spencer's already had one arm injury, and then he's already had two arm injuries, and now he's, you know, we're not even sure what Spencer is anymore, and that sucks. So hopefully Spencer will, I don't know, come back and find a way to be a good pitcher in some form or fashion. I don't know where that future is going to be, and I'm sure there's going to be some conversations over the next month while he's out of like, hey, like, look, what do you want your future to be? Because what we're doing right now is not working, and you're not succeeding. So, like, let's find a way for you to succeed and be an impactful piece because there's still a lot of talent in that arm. Yeah, yeah, we do lack depth. Um, we lack quality depth. We have a lot, like you said, we have a ton of fifth starters. I mean, if I qualify everybody as a fifth starter, or as what they are, I'd say Holmes is definitely a fifth starter. Elder Elder's interesting. I think I'd call Elder a four. Um, Mainly because of his ability to be durable and stay in games. And having depth is great. Uh, how do I word this? If all of the arms could do what Martin Perez is doing every fifth day, I would be ecstatic. Because even though like Martin Perez takes the mound and like sure you're thinking like, okay, somebody's probably gonna square this dude up tonight and maybe he's gonna give up 3 runs or so. But he's gonna give you 5 innings every day. He's gonna go out there and he's gonna compete. And if Holmes could find a way to be that guy, or if Richie could find I don't know, Richie definitely has a higher ceiling than Holmes, no doubt. But right now, his capability at this point is to basically do what Martin Perez is doing. And I mean, I don't hate that idea, Ben. I don't like but the problem is once you move Holmes to the pen, so say you move Holmes to the pen and then 4 starts into Owen Murphy, you're thinking, now, okay, now hold on. Let me backtrack a little bit there. 4 starts into Owen Murphy, you would basically be 3 weeks out from the trade deadline or 2 weeks out from the trade deadline. So you could put yourself in a position where you just say, okay, this hasn't worked. Holmes has already moved to the pen. Owen Murphy hasn't worked out. Go get an arm right now. And then you could, at that point, you could go get an arm. Yeah, I don't hate that idea, Ben. I think that's a good idea. I think the Braves are going to be reluctant to do that, though. Just given the fact that they are clearly gun shy about their starting pitching after last year, they want as many guys as possible to be stretched out. I kind of worry that we're a couple days away from them telling us that they're going to start stretching Ronaldo Lopez back out. And I do not think he's ready. Even though the stuff is better, stuff is definitely better than it was. I don't think that he needs to be going back into the rotation. But they keep mentioning it. They keep saying it. And I don't know. They definitely need 2 starters. I had been reluctant to say they needed 2 because it was like, okay, you just need to get to October and then, let everything play out. But right now you're at a point where it's like, okay, you need a number 2 for a postseason series for sure. And you also need an innings eater to fit back there at the back of the rotation with guys like Elder and Richie. So yeah, I think Walker would be good. And I think Walker would be good for multiple reasons, right? Like he shouldn't be super expensive because like he's like sure you would be okay throwing him in a postseason game, but like would you really like want him to be your number 2 in a postseason game? Not necessarily. So I don't think there's going to be as many people like calling on him and being like, "Hey, like we're beating down the doors to get Michael Walker." Like I think a team like the Braves would be positioned well to get a team or get a player like Walker because he is under control through next year, I believe. Hold on, let me look up his contract. I know he's under control next year, but it's a weird contract, I believe. So let me look. Yeah, he's under contract next year. and he has a 2028 club option. So I mean that would be something that I think the Braves could definitely be very interested in because of his stability. I think that a guy like Walker would be huge for this rotation going forward. And if you get an extra 2 years of control, then you're at least you got some projectability going on there. No, I don't think Walker would be your two. I think if that you're gonna go get Michael Walker, I think if you're gonna go get Michael Walker, you still need to get a number two. So like a Joe Ryan or a Logan Webb, or now I'll say this: if you go get like a Nathan Eovaldi and a Michael Walker, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Joe Ryan would be awesome. Uh, he would be fantastic, Cody. I just don't know. I don't the Twins. I don't understand the Twins. Last year they had one of the biggest sell-offs in like modern history. Deadline history, and then they're like, "Oh, but we still want to compete." And they're not really competing, but they're like pretending to compete a little bit. So I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. They're trying to trick Byron Buxton is what they're doing. If I had to guess, their entire focus right now is to trick Byron Buxton into staying. Who do I want at 9? Hmm. I don't know enough for one. But of the names that I do know, I don't hate the idea of Drew Burress, although it sounds like there's some projectability issues for like who he's really going to be when he gets to the major leagues. I like the idea of Gio Rojas. He's a prep arm. Yeah. Chris Bubik is a good. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correct. Bubich, I think is how you pronounce that. But Ben, I just don't know that much about college baseball, and I really don't think. Yeah, that was the other name I was going to say was Tyler Bell. I believe that's the shortstop from Kentucky, I believe. And he's I don't know. I've heard some injury issues there that they're a little bit concerned about, but I have heard that the Braves are interested in him from the people in the know. So I don't think it's like outside of the question. Would he really be under slot though? I guess he would be under slot probably if he's got some injury issues or injury concerns, I guess, not issues. Cody, I don't mind the idea of Sonny Gray, but I mean, I'm not giving up a lot for him. Has there been an official announcement yet of time? My sister's at the game. She still says that she has not heard it. Okay, so he's already had surgery. Tyler Bell has. Then I'm not so concerned about it. They just called the game, folks. They just called the game. Tomorrow's game will resume tomorrow at 2 p.m. Oh, that is frustrating. That's going to piss a lot of people off. Really put the Braves in a tough spot tonight. MLB, I mean, a lot of it has to be on the Braves too. Now, you could see that Walt Weiss was pretty frustrated. I don't know why they started that game on time. It seemed insane. So I guess there's going to be a call up for tomorrow. who is available down there to pitch. Oh man. Well, that's interesting. Hold on, I'm gonna go look. Does anybody remember when Owen Murphy pitched last? Murphy or Waldrop isn't. Okay, so Murphy isn't available. Yeah, Waldrop clearly is not available. He just pitched tonight for 4 innings. I bet he's pissed. Murphy pitched Saturday. Yeah, so Murphy will not be available. Ooh. Anthony Molina could start. Is Molina still up? Is he still on the roster? I can't even remember if he's on the roster. Now we've had so much shuffling in the bullpen with those guys at the back end that it's like, let's see. So tomorrow's going to be a day. Yeah, Anthony Molina is still on the roster. So he could definitely start. I think that would probably be the move, right? You go with Molina because you've already got 2 innings out of the way. So you just need to cover 7 innings. Well, I mean, okay, let me rephrase that. You need to cover 16 innings, but they need to cover more. They need to cover at least 17. So, yeah, if you could get Molina, if Molina could go 4, I don't know. Well, I'm a little bit bummed out, but I really enjoy watching the games at night. And dude, yeah, but Richie's, he's scheduled to pitch, tomorrow night. So like, they're not gonna mess with that. But they will get a 27th man, so that's cool. But man, that is frustrating. Just absolute horrendously managed situation. Take place. Okay. Yeah, just horrible everything all the way around. Braves did a terrible job here. I mean, yeah, I can't see Drew Hackenberg getting a start tomorrow. Now, I mean, he could be the 27th man that they call up. They could certainly do it if they wanted to. But problem is he's not on the 40 man. I don't even know who really is down there that's on the 40 man. I guess they could call up like Munoz or something just to have an extra arm. Let's see, 40 man. You got Harris, Daysbell. Oh, I guess you could call up Daysbell. Victor Medeiros, Roldy Munoz, Hunter Stratton. I don't see Stratton coming up. I don't know. It's very frustrating night. Well, I guess I'm going to get off here. Hop off here. Appreciate you guys coming, chilling, talking, listening to me yap for a little while. But I guess tomorrow will be a lot of baseball, which I guess that's in a way exciting. So, but you guys have a good night. Go Braves.